Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's match is between Cognitive Gaming EU and Reason Gaming. So let's just get this match underway, shall we? It's one of the final matches from the EU tournament that we saw this week. On Loki, we got Proxy QQ. On Sobek, we got Muggy Wawa. I'm just going to call him Muggy. That's it. I'm not saying the last bit. On Ra, we got Rasterian. And good to see an Anubis in the competitive matches again. It was always really nice to see Anubis jungle, just general this, that. Now what we see on the mini-map here, we do see the whole of Reason Gaming actually rotating over through the jungle, potentially trying to get a gank off. Not quite sure where they want to go though. Are they going to actually try and go for the full buff steal, or just really just trying to force a fight? Now forcing the fight at the start is very iffy, but they can see that they can only see 3 of the Cognitive Gaming. So they've definitely got the numbers in the fight, especially with the fact that you've only got one Loki. Alright, you got Ra and Anubis, but once they drop their skills, they're just area effect skills, so they can't actually do anything really. They just kind of drop and go, which works very well. So now they're rotating over, but what we see here going on is both Cognitive EU side are actually moving around to buffs. So we see what's coming on. I do believe, obviously from the wards here from Reason Gaming, they have seen Cognitive Gaming coming up now. Now what we're going to see is, anything going to anticipate in here? And we see a taunt coming out there from Athena. Good Isis stun with the orb. We do see Anubis grasping hands go down, so they do manage to get away with obviously the slow that's attached to that one, just helping them get out of that one. But it was a beautiful kind of connection in there, comboing off. Nothing really they can kind of add. I didn't hear a Naja Universe Ring. That was kind of the only ability that I didn't hear kind of go off at the same time. Now it looks like the 4 of them are rotating left, which is a little unusual. Obviously they've picked up both middle ones, and now they're going to go on to both jungle camps, while leaving Cognitive kind of lacking for buffs at the minute. Obviously Loki and that are picking up the buff now. We see Naja and Neef picking up their red buff, getting in there and getting out. Probably going to get out quicker than Reason Gaming. Now Reason Gaming have just picked up their red buff and started moving on, and you can kind of see that Naja's picked up 2 buffs and two gold camps and the red buff, and got onto it towards Loki. Now Loki's still level 1, just hit level 2, and obviously you see Naja's got a whole gold camp ahead of Loki. So Neef here, Mordor, is getting really low in lane. Obviously Game Hunter there pressing any slight lane advantage as they were coming in there. But when you generally come in from the side, you generally get a bit caught out there, and you have to be careful. There was a lovely snare off there by Funball as well. So what we saw there was just kind of they were pushing the fights, trying to get this going, and we could see Cognitive Gaming was just trying to steal buffs and everything carrying on. So definitely everybody was trying to force a fight. Fair enough, Cognitive Gaming tried to get out, but it didn't quite work for them anyway. So let's just have a little look at what we got. Now we've got these kind of like new meters and stuff here. We can kind of see how everything's kind of laying out. So we see Loki here, obviously Proxy QQ on Loki. It's got 305 gold per minute. It's going down to about 300 now. While Naja's at 380 gold. Now obviously that's just because he just quickly cleared a camp. But it's them little increases get you up ahead and push you forward. Now we see an engagement going off on middle. I'm going to pull that back just because I missed obviously most of that going off. So yeah, them little things kind of work out that way. That's why Naja's level 4 and also Loki's level 3. And then it just kind of helps in those respects. Now obviously Rasterian here's just had a little look just to see if he could contest it. Obviously Celestial Beam was a fantastic little maneuver that was going on there. Now we see Athena coming in the side. Hebo's going to probably get the knock-up. Beautiful knock-up. Charging there by Athena, and a taunt just to secure that kill there from Shadow Nightmare, actually using his ultimate to get that one off. Loki coming in here on Proxy QQ, going after Neef or Mordor and Athena, sorry. Nothing he could really kind of do there. It was just pure running. He's got no slow. He does have the kind of damage, but doesn't really have the speed as of yet. But yeah, there was a lovely first blood there coming out from Reason Gaming. Sobek knock and flip. And you can kind of see the Sobek knock up nerf also taking effect now as well. Oh, good charge. Throwing Hebo. There's not much he can do. To be honest, he's just prolonging his agony, and it could actually get himself killed. Now there's a few little bits going on there. Sobek ult coming out here. Now we see a water burst onto the Sobek. Sobek's in a lot of trouble. Now Hebo's stuck. Caught in there. Just trying. Didn't want to leave. Unbelievable. Didn't want to leave. Stayed too long and messed around with a tank too long. Then Rasterian come in, and then we saw Game Hunter rotate over on the Apollo ultimate as well, just to finish him off. It was a bit overkill, but it worked. Absolutely worked. So we see there who was actually playing Hebo. Shadow Nightmare, sorry. So this have finished the rundown of the players. So on Apollo we do have Game Hunter. On Hebo we have Shadow Nightmare. Neef we've got Fumble. Athena we have Mordor, and on Naja we have Bobby Koff, and Isis has Smacktrix. So there's our rundown. Now, which I would love if HiRez could actually put back in is the names next to the portraits, just for like quick reference things that obviously for the casters and you people love to know who's actually double check who's on it and bits like that. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. So we see there Reason Gaming taking that gold camp, but this time we're going to see Cognitive actually pick up the left-hand side gold camp quickly. Good artillery sash coming out there onto Ra there, going down, and Hebo finishes that one off, picking it up completely. Ra does go down straight up. Sobek ultimate going out there as well. Naja just going to town onto the Sobek, and that's just picking him up lovely there. Loki also back in there, but now he's just running. Now Naja needs to get out there. Just two more attacks from Game Hunter should finish that one off, but Game Hunter does back out there. Uses the Mesmerize to actually stop the Athena pursuit, but she's still on his tail. There's not much he can go. Now can Fumble get any more attacks? No, can't. And then we see also Shadow Nightmare just trying to get in range for a water spout or a water burst, but didn't actually manage to get in there or connect on anything. So Game Hunter does manage to get out of that by the skin of his teeth. Oh, the lucky little swine that he is. So now we see just Proxy QQ just trying to stop any creep going into tower range to reduce any of that gold deficit. Now he's going to decide to back out just because he's helped keep that wave up. Game Hunter's now rotating back over, and it's going to help out a hell of a lot more. And let's just have a look. Item sec, whichever one's going. So we saw Fumble just rushed out of that Hard Seeker. It's obviously going for the extra early damage, just crack it out, go on. He's also spending a lot of time. I'm not sure. I don't believe he's the solo lane. He's Neef and Athena lane. But to be honest, getting out that extra early damage, especially onto Neef, works out exceptionally well. Because obviously you get that extra physical power for when you use your the World Weaver there and that ult. Just any extra damage you can get onto your ultimate early on was really going to help your team out, especially when we can see it going off here. Where could it possibly be going? No, decides to not actually release. Now we see Athena with Sobek just having a little tussle, but didn't quite get in there to actually get any of the little gold furies. Now he's back mid as well, just trying to harass Shadow Nightmare. Does get a good charge up there, and Ra Syrian Pain, beautiful. Now we see a Neef ultimate coming out onto Ra to lock him in place. Finishes him off there after a little water burst from Hebo. Does pick him off. So we see Fumble rotating over perfectly. Looked like he used a teleport scroll, because I don't know how he got over to mid lane so fast. And then they managed to pick off the Hebo and the Ra there. So 1-1 trade. Works out alright. But yeah, the Hebo just got... Well, the Ra just got nutted, and then the Hebo just kind of got finished up by the Sobek. So yeah, we also see Naja's just gone Husseiker as well. Stuck with the level 1 boots, obviously. Slower rotating round, but getting the earlier you can get out the Heartseeker and not die, the crucial thing is not die. Alright, there's no point getting a Heartseeker and then die like every couple of minutes after you've actually got it. Now, gonna go in there, just obviously had to rotate over quickly. Someone had to rotate over. It could have been Neef, obviously picking up the red camp there and obviously rotated middle. Well, Neef, I mean Game Hunter there. Rotating over, and then I left the buff camp there. I'm not sure why it was that, but that's the way it is. Now we do see Loki, Proxy QQ decided to get level 2 boots before moving on to Heartseeker. Now obviously picking up Heartseeker is a level 2. So Naja, let alone being ahead in the levels, is now ahead in items per se. Well, the damage items. He's gonna get the movement speed anyway, but he's definitely gonna be ahead in stacks now. Especially now with rotating over. Syrian Pain coming through. Didn't believe it actually picked up anything there. And then they're going to pick up the side camp as well. We also see Anubis has finished up his Doom Orb, and so has Hebo. Now, I'm probably going to be commenting a lot on the actual god names, just because I don't have like a proper visual reference on what actually the gods are. So that's just another kind of thing. You guys can kind of join the journey on the new spectator changes with me and everything like that as well. So let's just see, where can people be going? So Game Hunter could really just do with just staying in lane, leveling up, get his Heartseeker finished, get in there, obviously do what Neef's doing. Just stay there pretty much kind of as much as he can stay on his own. Obviously, Muggy is going to have to obviously get over and get some levels. Just if he stays out of the way too long, it's just going to kind of mess him up. And there is a pause coming out there if I fumble, and I will speed this up until we actually get going. But other than that, we do see a teleport scroll obviously on Apollo as well, which is good for him, because to be honest, at level 10 his ultimate is a little lackluster to actually get across. So let's just see if we can get that one back up. So I am running this up. We are at times 16 to actually speed up as well. So yeah, by the time you get to like the right lane with your ultimate, you'd be out of mana. So now he could teleport over, then I'll use his ultimate from there to get wherever he wants to, or just go in. So now we're back in. I am actually going to bring that back just because of how that actually come into effect. And now we're going to bring it back down. So that's it. Are we +1? I'm still playing. Why is it paused? Oh yeah, okay. So now, come on, just a little bit. There we go. Ah! Okay, so we see the engagement coming in there. Athena getting tossed up. Apollo going to town, and it's just stopping. Using her ultimate onto the Neef to try and get out of the way. Just going to get caught out there by Sobek. And then obviously Neef used the World Weaver just to try and stop Sobek and actually on the pursuit, but didn't actually do anything anyway. And then we see also in the mid lane, I was just about to go there as well. In the mid lane, we also see some Hebo and Ra action. So we're going to pick up on this as well. And no, we're not. So actually, just a little bit. Oh, that's right. He teleports in. Obviously, you're going to see that Rosterian's right there. Shadow Nightmare going after this. A slow coming out from Ra stops him. And the armor from Hebo obviously connects. Didn't Aegis in time, and then gets hit by a water spout just to finish that one off. We do see a Loki rotating over, but I don't believe he's going to be there in time. But then again, Shadow Nightmare was going to the jungle, but then rotated back to the tower. So we see Proxy QQ kind of rotating over to possibly help out the Ra, but just wasn't there in time. And then just positioning wise, just wasn't in the right place at the right time, and then obviously Rosterian just got blown up by that Hebo element. Good like opportunity, well, good try, should I say, with that Aegis amulet, but didn't actually do that. And oh my god, I didn't even see Naja rotate over. Here we go. So now we're going to speed that back over. We're going to see obviously Proxy QQ is going to come over for that gold camp. Naja get a good artillery sash, comes in there with a good bounce from the Universe Ring onto the Gold Fury camp. So that's where he got a lot of damage from that one. Obviously, when you just throw out a single target, you're not going to do too much. But if there's extra bounce targets there, two others at the max, works extremely well. Managed to get some load of extra damage off there onto Proxy QQ, doing huge amounts of damage. And now we see Shadow Nightmare just picking up the side gold camps. Now going back to middle against Rosterian. He does have 2 levels up on him. Let's just see actually how much gold we do see Muggy coming in from the side. We'll use the tailspin, but then a beautiful Aegis there coming to stop the throwback. So Shadow Nightmare perfectly timed that one as well, because it's only at like a 1 second the Aegis at the minute. It does only have level 1, I believe. Yeah, only level 1. So he timed that. He knew exactly what was going to happen. He saw that Sobek got in front of him, in front of the lane, and then went, right, he's going to charge. Hit that Aegis, stop that charge, stopped, obviously, Syrian Pain, because the instant that the charge would have been successful, Rosterian would have blown that Syrian Pain off, and would have got a good connection on. But to be honest, actually, even if Rosterian actually used the Syrian Pain anyway, he would have still got him after he come out of the Aegis Amulet. Now, we do see Sobek did have a little tussle over with, obviously, Athena and Naja at the right-hand side, kind of on his own, but they're going to lose this. No, they do manage to save this right-hand side tower, but to be honest, 2 hits from an auto attack from anybody will actually take that one down, so that will go down anyway as well. We see Anubis actually spray on here on the side lane, just kind of chilling out. Now, they've changed kind of like when they brought Spray On into the team, obviously he's not the mid laner anymore. He used to be the mid laner for Copenhagen Wolves. Now, obviously, for Cognitive Gaming, he's decided to go like the right hand side, and we do see some like jittering like frame drops. Not quite sure where that's coming because I'm running at 50 frames, but we're just kind of we'll go with the tech issues here and actually see kind of what's going on. So now Shadow Nightmare is in a lot of trouble. Apollo Ultimate, so beautiful, and that God, I got so tongue twisted, but Spray On Ultimate coming out there and just picking that one off as well. We just like a 4-man combo, just rotated over so fast, just was so ready for him. He had nowhere to go. Supercharge off there on Bobbycoff. Loki's nowhere to be seen and actually throws him into the artillery sash. He's got a good turnaround there and now going to get out of there. Sobek threw Bobbycoff into Proxy QQ, who wasn't ready, expecting it, and actually got him killed in that respect as well, because he just threw out one artillery sash because he knew he was low and then went for it. I don't know if we actually heard any universe ring. I didn't hear it per se. And then we see some action going off on the right hand side lane. We do see Apollo getting caught out there by the Athena ultimate as well, going after oh my god. So what we saw there, we saw Naja going to town on Game Hunter. Game Hunter was already pretty low, then got finished off by the knee. We also see a Spray On rotating in, got a good mummify onto Funball, then Plague and Locust, and now uses his ultimate on there as well, just to kind of finish that one off. Death's Gaze to finish it off. So yeah, what we were saying, we saw obviously the World Weaver come in, and then we saw the Sobek ultimate coming off and finish off and everything like that. And just, yeah, you know what we saw. We saw play. That's what we saw. We saw play. So we see everyone's finished off their snowball items. Obviously, they finished off the Heart Seekers and Doom Orbs. Everybody's finished them, and now it's just now going to be Hebo on the right hand side, just being chased down by Rasterian and actually Muggy Wire as well. We see Celestial Beam coming out there, obviously with the River as well, but going to be intercepted by Proxy QQ and just finished off that last little hit there as well. Now Proxy QQ will go over and steal this buff from Naja, but Naja is rotating a Bobby Cookoff. We'll see this. Can he get in there in time to actually get that Celestial Beam come from the stack and then duke the artillery sash? But a universe ring there, bouncing between the two. Now Muggy Wawa didn't actually take too much damage from that, but Proxy QQ took a little bit, like a third of his health in damage there, so didn't want to stay there too long and actually do anything else there. We see Funball, sorry, taking out the side gold camp as well. So we see, look, we've only lost one tower. Reason Gaming lost one tower, and just, yeah, they're losing a lot of damage on the towers as well. Even like the left hand side, the middle tower's pretty low as well. Where on the other hand, Cognitive Gaming are actually sitting there quite happily on their towers. Their towers haven't really taken much damage. The most one was down in the bottom right. We do see some action. Proxy QQ on there underneath. Now we see Naja coming in as well. We see Celestial Beam coming out from Ra. Spin from Sobek. And then Fina Ulma coming down onto Bobby Cookoff. Not going to do any connection on anybody else. Naja picks up Loki into the air. Drops him down. Will finish him off. We do see Sobek in the middle of everybody else. Bobby Cookoff threw out the universe ring, but it does get taken down by an auto attack from Rasterian. There is a charge and throwback onto Mordor as well, and we see a surrender vote coming out there so early there from was it Reason Gaming that surrendered? I actually don't know what happened there. So we see a surrender vote coming out there. What we're at, like 10-15 minutes? I don't know. I think their ISIS come down. For what I kind of gather from the rest of the tournament is they did have connection problems and that. So what we see is ISIS kind of disconnected. I'm not sure how long ISIS was disconnected for, because we don't actually get any indicators anymore. So I didn't actually know he'd gone. So Smacktrix had been gone for quite a while. So yeah, unfortunately disconnection issues. 20-minute match. It was really quite a good match and was going to work out, like turn the tides quite nicely. So that's just the way things are. Sometimes we get connection problems here and there. So hope you guys have actually enjoyed the match. I did quite like actually casting it as well. There's some few UI issues that I don't like anymore that they've changed sort of compared to what we're actually used to, but other than that we can kind of move on from there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next match that I've casted as well. So see you then. I'm Rez the UK and goodbye.